Jive town where a guy named Shane told the news. And some dummy with a flare gun blew it up to the moon. And we were jive on the water, jiving in the sun. Jive on the water, man, you make it really fun. Shit, I'm getting good with those things. Oh my God, oh my God. Look at this. You never thought you'd see these two faces together. Welcome once again, one and all, back again. Lower the seat. Here we go. Put the hat on. Hot damn it. Here we go. Welcome back to episode 43 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, your best friend in the entire world. Host, again, you can find these news articles on your own. There's probably way more knowledgeable people out there reading you the heavy metal and hard rock news. In fact, I'd be willing to say a lot of them would say agree and say, yeah, Shane, you shouldn't be doing that because I am the voice of hard rock and heavy metal news. But there's plenty of room for everybody around there, isn't there? Isn't there plenty of room for people to do what they want to do? As Black and Blue would say, do what you want to do what you want when you're going to get crazy. So we're going to get into some hot, fresh, funky, hard rock and heavy metal news with your comments there at the very end. We're starting off, old Dave Mustaine there. There's the high cheekbones, and there's the sad eyes of James Hetfield. You know, he's got the eyes of a man that says, yes, I've got billions of dollars and everything else, but you know what? Doesn't make me happy. Doesn't make me happy. First article up here, Dave Mustaine says it was dumb of him to punch James Hetfield. I really respect him. I had no clue this ever happened. Did you get in the comments and tell me exactly the lore, the folklore behind James Hetfield or Dave Mustaine giving him a good smack in the chops? I'd love to hear that if you got it. Let me take a drink real quick. Oh my God. Jesus, that's good. Megadeth main man. He's a main man now. Dave Mustaine recently answered a number of fan-submitted questions for Revolver Magazine during that chat, which can be seen below. Mustaine spoke about his relationship with his former bandmates Metallica frontman James the Hetman Hetfield, referencing a wildly circulated video of Hetfield from last May in which the Metallica guitarist vocalist told an audience in Brazil that he was feeling a little bit insecure. Hey, we all do, right? You all have days where you say, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not manly enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm no good, I'm not that. You know, so everyone gets in those little stumps, little runts, and you got to get out of them. Is it a run or rut? You get out of that rut and move on with your day and look in the mirror and say, you know what? I am worth all of it. Everything all the good things in life, I deserve them. Referencing a widely circulated video of Hetfield from Brazil, saying that he was felt a bit insecure prior to taking the stage. Mustaine, who played Metallica for 11 months before being kicked out of the band shortly before the recording of Metallica's 1983 album Kill 'Em All. So he's in the Image. Why do I remember him being on the Image, but he's not on the record? But his riffs are on the record? But he's in the record, like you can see him standing there with the band. This is what Dave Mustaine had to say. I saw things with James on stage where he was saying that he was going through a rough patch. I was sad to see this because it's been one of those really weird love-hate relationships. And the whole reason that I even ever pursued any of this was I really liked those guys. If I didn't like them, I wouldn't just say, fucking flush the toilet and be done with it. He's always been somebody that I really liked playing with. I wished things would have been have ended the way that I wish they wouldn't have ended the way they did. Sorry, I messed that up. And, I'm Dave Mustaine. I wish things wouldn't have ended the way that they did. But que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. It was dumb thinking that I did by taking my dog to... What? It was a dumb thing that I did by taking my dog up to practice. And it was an even dumber to punch James. I really respect him, and I respect his playing, and I hope he knows that there are a lot of people out there like me. I'm one of them. I'm at the top of the list. I'm totally like me. There's lots of people like me that like him as a person and don't give two fucks about him being in Metallica. So Dave's saying that besides the fact that he's the lead singer guitarist for the biggest heavy metal band in the world, he likes him as a person. And who wouldn't like those eyes? Look at those eyes. Does this look like a man that you could say, I hate you? You're a terrible person. No. You say, look at those eyes. In a 2009 interview with Norway's Lidverket, Mustaine said that he was so hurt by getting out of Metallica for allegedly drinking too much. I said, what? No second chance, no warning. Come on, we all drink. Come on, he recalled. And then they were like, no, that's it. You're gone. And I was like, all right. Mustaine also went on to claim that an altercation with Hetfield led to his being fired from the band. I was selling pot. When I would go play in concert, people knew that my pot was sitting in my apartment just saying, go ahead and keep me company. So I was broken in on. People stole everything that I had, all my stash. Where's David Ellefson at the time that you were playing in Metallica? What was he up to? Does he have keys to your apartment? He was living in the same building as you. And I figured, screw this. I'm going to get some dogs to stay in my apartment when I leave. So I got 2 dogs, and I took one of them up to the rehearsal one time. And she put her paws up on Ron McGovney, Metallica then bassist, car. Well, they probably scratched the paint. Did he have like a 86 Camaro or something? A bitchin' Camaro? And James kicked it right in the side. And I was like, what did you do? And I was like, it's a dog. It's what they do. You don't kick animals. Now he's going to get hashtag hate James Hetfield for giving a side swipe to the dog. So we went into the house and we started arguing some more, and I ended up punching him in the face. And I think that it was the root of why I lost my job. Anytime you punch someone in the face, that's a damn good reason to get rid of you. You know, it's lingering. After you punch someone in the face, you go, okay, let's head to New York or New Jersey or whatever to record the next record. You know, you're kind of thinking about the punch to the face. Next up, oh my goodness, we got Wendy Dio here. Now, she says Vivian Campbell wanted to take Dio in a more commercial direction. Now, I heard an interview with Vivian Campbell where he was talking about the reason that they had so many, that the band started to fizzle with him in it is because they were promised they would start getting paid royalty on the 3rd record. And that wasn't happening. And, you know, Wendy Dio, I guess, was the person in charge of that. Wendy Dio says that Vivian Campbell's financial demands weren't the only reason why he was fired from the Dio band. Ronnie James Dio, Vivian drummer, and Vinny Appice and bassist Jimmy Bain collaborated on the first 3 Dio records, 1983's Holy Diver, 1984's The Last in Line, and the 1985 Sacred Heart, before Irishman Campbell left to join Whitesnake in 1987. Boy, it's like right out of the fire into the frying pan, right? Whitesnake, that self-titled record, was the biggest thing. I mean, when my mother owned a copy of it, I was like, what the hell? She's like, it's good. I love this record. It's so good. Vivian later publicly took to issue with Ronnie's need for total control of the band, claiming that finances played a major part in the bad blood that preceded his exit. Specifically, Campbell said that it had become increasingly clear to him that Wendy, as Ronnie's manager, was determined to separate the singer from the band. She didn't see Dio as one creative unit. Ronnie knew better, but I suspect that in an effort to win back Wendy's love after the couple split, he was willing to bend to her whims. Thus began the beginning of the end for the original Dio band. I've said it 1,000 times. I will say it 1,000 more, that when you're a band, and Ronnie started Dio as a band, he said, I want to create a band and you're not paying up, and you're not giving credit where credit is due, and you're not splitting things equally, and one person is saying, I think you're the name and the face and the everything of this band, and it doesn't matter who's in the band. That's when things start to get a little rough. Wendy, who married Ronnie in 1974 and managed his career until his death, discussed Vivian's departure from Dio in a new interview with SiriusXM's Trump Nation with Eddie Junk in the trunk. It wasn't just that Vivian wanted more money. He was giving Ronnie any. He wasn't giving Ronnie any. Ronnie played off with the guitar player. He wasn't bringing anything to the table, as Ronnie said. Also, he was wanting to push the band more commercial, which Ronnie had fought all the way along, with songs like Mystery, Only a Mystery. Ronnie did not want to do things like that. He did not want to be Bobby. And he was, again, being led by Vivian, along with the rest of the band, those bloody baggers, to be more commercial. And that was not what Ronnie wanted to do. And it wasn't what he was gonna do, but he did it on Dream Evil. All the fools sailed away. That's a pretty commercial record. Sunset Superman and Night People. Campbell most recently addressed his claims that he and his Dio bandmates were earning less than the crew during an appearance this past April on the Let There Be Talk. That's where I heard this. You can go check out the Dean Del Rey Let There Be Talk podcast. And look at this. It's going to say his name right here. Podcast with rock and roll comedian Dean Del Rey. Asked about the Dio financial situation while he was a member of the band, Vivian said, and I quote, "The money was pretty grim. That was the whole reason why I got fired from Dio. Because I was a squeaky wheel. The night in London, at the rehearsal room, after the Dio band was formed, when Ronnie sat us down and he said, 'Here's the plan. This is what we're gonna do.' He had promised us all that by the third record it would be an equity situation because, basically, we had to work for nothing, for next to nothing for the early records. And the only reason I bought a Ferrari," and he did buy a Ferrari, "was 3 reasons. The number 1, it was a garden variety production Ferrari, the cheapest one. Number 2, the exchange rate when I bought it, I was getting paid in dollars, and the exchange rate was very, very favorable to buy sterling at the time." He's talking about them sterling coins in Ireland. And number 3, I think my accent just turned. I ate crew meal for years. I didn't spend a penny. Anything I earned, me per diems or whatever, went right back into the bank account. And I said, I'm going to buy a car and get out of my dreams. Get into my car. 'Cause it was time and I was still living with me parents in Ireland. So when I was working with Dio, I'd fly home. I'd be like, "Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, hey, Popsy, you got any, what do they call that, shrimp, shepherd's pie? Is there any shepherd's pie left, Mummy, Daddy?" So I didn't have to, any overhead. I had no bills, so I kept everything. It was the same as years earlier when I was saving up to buy a Gibson Les Paul. I just focused on it. I wanted a 308 GTB Ferrari, so I saved up. And there I had it. So there you've got that. She's, when the wife is the manager and stuff, they always go, "You're the star." When you're the singer, he left Black Sabbath. Here he is. He's a solo artist. Everyone's going to tell you that. He did do a lot of, he could play guitar and bass and keyboards and stuff. So he had Holy Diver when they tried out Vivian Campbell and stuff. So it's, I understand, but it never hurts to go, guys, day one, you're getting a piece of the pie. Speaking of pieces of the pie, we finally got a piece of the pie. But guess one guy who doesn't get a piece of the pie? He's got sad memories. And those are sad eyes. Slightly angry eyes, I'd say. Tim Ripper Owens on his time with Judas Priest. It's shocking that my era has just been swept under the rug. There's a lot of people that would say the same thing. In an interview with a White Line Fever podcast, ex-Judas Priest singer Tim the Ripper Owens addressed his recent headline-grabbing comment. That he never got a call from his former bandmates about them finally getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh, okay. Asked if he ever thinks about what will make the headlines in the music media while he is doing promotion for a particular project, Tim said, well, I always get off thinking, what's going to be on Blabbermouth tomorrow? Because you can do 8 million words in an interview, and then one word would come out, and they would take it and base an article around it. Well, that's true. That's called breaking news. You know, if you're talking about, being a lead singer in a rock band forever, right? And you're sitting there and you're going, yeah. And then on the third record and everything, I really tried to focus more on the emotional side of my vocal and stuff. But when I got back home and I killed those 7 kids and put them in my basement, I just decided to focus on everything that I wanted to do vocally for this next record. People go, what? You know what I'm saying? That's the way news breaks. Tim added, I knew my comments about the Rock Hall would be turned into a headline, and I don't mind talking about it. Because listen here, honey sister child, they should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, and I'll be straight with it. And then they asked about me going in. Listen, I'm not going in, and that's cool. Like I said before, I feel like I'm going in anyways, because I was in the band for about 10 years. And I did 2 studio records and 2 live records and a DVD and a Grammy nomination. It's good to see Rob Halford, Glenn Tipton, Ken Downing? Is that his name? KK Downing? Ken Downing? Ken Cobain Downing? And Scott Travis get in there for sure. What about the other drummer feller? I mean, Scott Travis has been with him a hell of a long time, but what about, his name escapes me, but he's with the band forever. Where's his Blabbermouth article? Regardless of the fact, he is not being inducted into the Rock Hall with Priest when certain former members of the other acts who have only appeared on one album had made the cut in the past. Owen said, it's strange. It's not that nobody would be surprised, like I've said before. And listen, I'm friends with the guys, and I don't even talk bad about my time I was in the band. Although he could. It's a business, so your feelings can get hurt for a second. But I still love the guys. I mean, I really love them. I want to touch them in the bedroom. But it's shocking that my era with Priest was just swept under the rug. I do think it is shocking. Because you can't even listen to those records aren't even on Spotify. So it's like what the hell's the problem with that? If you're gonna put up a catalog, the Iron Maiden albums are the ones they did with Blaze Bayley. Those are up. The whole catalog's up there. You can listen to those records. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to? You got a whole fan base of people that like Tim Ripper Owens and liked him with Judas Priest. Why wouldn't you have those records out on the streaming sites? You're making money from them. And it's a complete catalog of all the music that you've done, right? Guys, do you like fun? Do you like lots of fun? Ghost, Papa Emeritus. Now, he doesn't do a whole lot. You know, this guy that's wearing the monster, the spookster makeup right there, that's Tobias Forge under there. We all know this, that's Tobias Forge, and he does a lot of interviews. If you see any kind of postings on Instagram or Twitter or anything, it's usually a nameless ghoul that is posting about something that has to do with the band. Rarely is it Papa Emeritus himself that does things, but guess what? Ghost Papa Emeritus 4 to throw out the first pitch at Chicago White Sox versus Cleveland Guardians. I thought they were like the Cleveland Browns or something. Or is that guy? Is that the cartoon? My name is Cleveland Brown. So Chicago White Sox Cleveland Guardians game. This will be fun. Ghost frontman Papa Emeritus 4, a.k.a. Who did I just tell you just now? What did I just say? What did I just tell you? A.k.a. Tobias Forge will throw the ceremonial first pitch at the Chicago White Sox versus Cleveland Guardians game on Thursday, September 22nd. As I write this, as we're doing this podcast here, it will be up on Saturday, but it is happening today. So you can go and look at that and just have a giggle and a laugh and have fun with that. And I hope that it's Papa Emeritus and not Tobias Forge in his little gothic outfits. Get this fella out there to do it. September 22nd at Guaranteed Rate Field. These names of these arenas and stadiums now are just ridiculous. Guaranteed Rate. You know. Dollar Loan Center Stadium. Come on. Chicago, Illinois. The Major League Baseball game begins at 7:10 p.m. So you can enjoy that. The ceremonial first pitch is a long-standing ritual of baseball in which a guest of honor throws a ball to mark the end of a pre-game festivities and the start of the game. And how in the hell is it even possible that he gets the job other than Stranger Things? Earlier this week, Ghost scored its first entry on the Billboard Hot 100 charts with Mary on a Cross. Why do I find that hard to believe? That because of Stranger Things, that song makes it on the Billboard Hot 100. That doesn't make any sense to me. The song, which was originally released on a 2-track single in 2019 via Loma Vista Concord, alongside Kiss the Go-Goat, hey, baby, kiss the goat. It's pretty good. They did a really fun thing where they flashed back to the Papa Emeritus of the 60s. So it was very psychedelic. You can go watch the video for Kiss the Go-Goat. And Mary on a Cross was the other single. Mary on a Cross has been gaining traction after a TikTok user used a slowed-down version of the song to a soundtrack short video about the Netflix show Stranger Things. Since then, the Mary on the Cross hashtag has amassed over 1 billion TikTok views, and the song was used to soundtrack tens of thousands of videos on the platform. Ghost later released the official slowed-down version of Mary on a Cross with added reverb. Wow. Well, dip me in honey and eat it off. I can't believe that. 6 of Ghost's albums. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. 6 of Ghost's albums have charted on the Billboard 200. Infestissimum, number 28 in 2013. If You Have Ghost, that song, If You Have Ghost, You Have Everything. That is a cover song from Rocky Erickson. And from the 13th Floor Elevators, you got to go check out. There's an amazing documentary about Rocky Anderson. It's R-O-K-Y. Erickson, and he is amazing but also schizophrenic, and you just learn everything you can about Rocky. I call him Rocky Erickson, but go check that out. The Evil One is a great record from Rocky Erickson. Meliora hit November 8th in 2015. Pope Star, that had Square Hammer on it. That was number 16 in 2016, Prequel, number 3 on the charts in 2018, and the brand new record, Impera, number 2 on the Billboard, with 5 reaching number 1. See, I don't understand what's going on. Because right here, 9 Ghost songs have charted on the mainstream rock airplay charts, with 5 songs reaching number 1. Square Hammer in 2017, Rats in 2018, Dance Macabre in 2019, All This Hunter's Moon, that's the Michael Myers movie song, and Call Me Little Sunshine in 2022. Ghost's 5th album, Impera, has sold over 70,000 equivalent album units in the U.S. in its first week of release to land it in position number 2 on the Billboard 200 charts. It marked the third top 10 album and fifth top 40 charting set from the Swedish act. So there you have that, my friends, my friends. A sad note here. We've done Pile Driver on the reaction videos, reaction side of the channel. Pile Driver's frontman, Gord KIrchin, dead at 60 years old. I wanted to just read a bit of this, and then we're going to watch a little taste of him in action. Lead vocalist Gord KIrchin of the Canadian cult metal band Pile Driver has died after he battled with cancer. He was 60 years old. You know, the scientists got to get on that, trying to get that shit sorted out. Wouldn't it be great to live in a place where you're like, you know, cancer wasn't a freaking death sentence or a misery? Just 2 weeks ago, KIrchin took to his social media to say that he had completed the last round of chemo following his diagnosis. At the time, he wrote that it's been a brutal chemical battle, adding that chemo really sucks. He said that the plan was to go through 3 weeks of horrid yuck from its side effects. Then in 6 weeks, we can scan to see if we got it all. Describing the health issues that he had dealt with as a result of his cancer battle, Gord said, "I'm not without battle scars to carry the rest of my days. Severe scarring in the lungs from the initial infection on top of the scarring from radiation, and it's severely reducing my oxygen uptake, leaving me gasping after even light exertion. And the radiation damage to my esophagus, windpipe, and throat." Oh my God. Okay, I don't want to read any more of that. We're it's like Typo Negative says, "Don't come dressed in black when you're at my wake. Don't come there to mourn, come to celebrate." So by God, that's what we're going to do. There he is. There's Gord in action. Let's get a taste of him there. Metal Inquisition. Look at that. Again, those spike bands. I mean, I wanted those so bad. That just the gauntlets, the whole arm things. You just. Old school. What's this guy got? Lizzie Borden patch on his jacket? Anyways, it is time for your comments, my fantastic friends, and then we're going to call her a do. Oh, we got Mike Misich here. Ozzy first met Randy in London in 1979, 2.5 years before he died. I also avoid links like the plague, including ones from my mom and wife. Yeah, you don't click the links, anything. I got a couple of them. I got rid of Facebook and all of that off my phone, and you'd get these, "Oh my God, I can't believe what they're saying about you," and there'd be a link, and you instantly want to go, "I don't know who you are, but what are they saying about me? I need to click this link and find out." Don't click any links. Good job there, Mike. Oscar Salvador coming in here with a comment. Ozzy said Randy was a gift from God. In another documentary or interview, a story was told about Ozzy punching the little guy when he tried to leave the band shortly before his death. Wow. Ironically, Randy didn't really like heavy metal. As you know, he was a trained classical guitarist. I think he wanted to go back to teaching guitar. I had no idea that he was a classic. I mean, I know D was pretty beautiful little bit there, but still Oscar here. Sharon probably insisted John, a.k.a. Ozzy, bully him because Randy was worth his weight in gold. Is that how John treats all of his dear friends? What a prick. Jeez. Say how you feel there, Oscar. There's your heart. Tom G coming in. My girlfriend and I made you a Jive Talkin intro. Do you have an email that I can send you the MP3 of it? We think you may like it. We love your show and love how funny you are. Oh, you're getting a heart right now. You're getting a thumb first. Thank you for your time, Nikki and Tommy. A little ditty about Nick and Tommy. Your number one fans in San Diego. But let it rock. Let it roll. What I would suggest you do is, I do have an email, But what I would suggest you do is I would love for you to just upload it to YouTube. Anyone's welcome to do that. Upload it to YouTube. Maybe take a picture of my lovely face and put it there or something, whatever you want to do. But the reason for that would be then I can just use them. I can just use it at will and at want. Now, if you put a link in here to a video, I guess I'd have to click that. But if you upload it online and then I can just set it up like I got my videos here and go pa-ting, pa-ting, pa-ting. But if you must, and you will, and please just use this email address for intros. I will not answer anything that goes, hey, buddy, you want to do a video for me? Because we kind of have a setup of that. You can click the links below. You can put it in the comments of a video or whatever. But Shane, ShaneDee 666 at gmail.com. And you can set it there. But I'd rather you put it on YouTube and then I could just click it and we could do it. But that's all up to you. Tom G, there you go. Now I got a little ditty about Jack and Diane in my head. Zayas Baltar coming in here. He's got some stuff. The Sex Pistols have really been exposed as being nothing but a cheap gimmick. Back in the day, they ran down Zeppelin and Floyd as being dinosaurs. But when Steve Jones got to meet Jimmy Page in the 80s, Jones said he nearly pissed himself with excitement. Meanwhile, Roger Waters of Pink Floyd has written caustic political lyrics for 50 years and does so to this day. The Sex Pistols' career was built on being outrageous and rebellious, not for musicianship. I agree with that 100%. Or good songs. The album's catchy to me. For rugged, raw, untalented kind of punk rock stuff, the Never Mind the Bollocks is a good record, but you're absolutely right. They had hardly any chops at all. I think Jones was the only one that really knew what he was doing. Now that they have grown old, and that's left for them, all that's left for them to do is backpedal about their past. Yep, that's what it was kind of feeling like to me. Dale McMillan, love your Blackie impression. Well, from Blackie Lawless to you, Dale McMillan, you're a damn good guy, and you deserve my saw blade right between your juicy... Oh, God, what am I doing here? Dale, there you go. There's your heart. Oh, Dale's here again. He's got a comment there. I'm not going to read whatever said put what there, but Dale here. Never put words in dead man's mouth. Ozzy needs to hush and worry about his own rivals and strife he and his wife laid on his own band members. Randy is much more interesting, but Quiet Riot sucked. Their music and lyrics were so cheap and not too great. They sucked, really. You know, I'm going to get a lot of grief for this, but I agree. I really liked Condition Critical. I felt like there was a lot of good songs in there. Mental Health, the stuff that he did with Randy, I've never heard a song of any of that Quiet Riot stuff. Mental Health, maybe 3 songs are good on it. And so I agree with that. And also I'm going to get a lot of hate for this because I listened to Stay Hungry again the other day of Twisted Sister. And it's just not, I mean, the iconic stuff there. I give it the props and everything, but I'm just kind of going, it doesn't hold up like a 12-year-old Shane enjoyed it back then. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, still pretty damn good to me. All right, there's your hearts there. Dan Gilman, Amen, Vinny Appice. Yep, I agree. There's your heart. Miss Althea coming in, the Dumbstruck Fool says, I agree with White Bread. Take the hugs. Life is too short, period. Hugs and kisses, yep, and all that, if you're into it. Handshakes, good firm handshakes, hugs, kisses. I am surprised that any fur flying between Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen didn't come out decades ago when it would have been more exciting or relevant to talk about, in my opinion. Or maybe it did and I was not paying attention, or I just don't remember. I mean, yeah, it's two dead guys that have a beef with each other or don't have a beef or whatever. Still Miss Althea here. Blackie Lawless and RuPaul who has the mantra of what other people think is none of my business, could collab on a public speaking tour and make a killing. I would see that instantly. RuPaul and Blackie I'll tell you what's going on with the world today, RuPaul. Go for it. Is it the stylish dress wear that people are... No! I'm so sick of it. I pay really good money to see that. Miss Althea here, Ricky Rocket did in fact name his children after the Beatles tunes Hey Jude and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Hope the scammer gets his or hers. Well, it's equal opportunity. I appreciate that she put his or hers in there, because scammers can be men or women, trying to take advantage of your wallets. Hell, take the story to the web of lies on the ID channel. I had no idea he got remarried. I just remember the mess from his divorce when the ex-wife got on social media looking to sell her wedding ring. What? Set to the highest bidder. I am deducting an undisclosed. Deducting an undisclosed amount of points for the riffing on Afternoon Delight. Yeah, that's a great jam. One of the most hated songs of the 70s. It's probably why I like it. I like a lot of them old terrible songs. A lot of those songs that were from the 70s that you look at it and you go, you've heard it a million times and it's some guy's name. Not like Jim Croce, but, Joseph McNamara or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'd never heard of that guy ever, but it's a huge hit song, It may be in the number one slot on that list, actually. Still Miss Althea. And speaking of the 70s, every time you see the term pocket drummer, all I think of is, Ron Popeil's Pocket Fisherman. It's the fishing invention of the century. Yes, I know the Ron Popeil, what was that? It was that box that would roast an entire human corpse in like less than an hour or something. Jeffrey Dahmer owned one. Speaking of Jeffrey Dahmer, I just noticed that Netflix put up some 10-episode series on Jeffrey Dahmer, so I got to get right into that. Still, Miss Althea here, Maud was actually Edith Bunker's cousin. Oh! Okay. Because she only popped up. Oh, Miss Althea's going to say here. She's not a neighbor. She appeared in 2 or 3 episodes of All in the Family, and you were right. Her character was so damn snarky and popular that Norman Lear, yes, whose name was escaping you, had to run with it. God will get you for that, Walter. R.I.P. B. Arthur. That's her name. I'm going to know the word right now because I'm thinking about it. Forklift. But B. Arthur's name and the word forklift. The driving machine. Where's the goddamn driving machine? It's like, the forklift? For some reason, those words do not connect in my brains. Yeah, rest in peace. There's your heart there. Rest in peace, B. Arthur. George Jefferson was also on All in the Family. In that, completely racist, I think it was that horribly racist episode where Archie Bunker talks about the black family moving in next door and they toss their watermelon rinds out the window or something. You're like, it was a different time. 1683 Clifton here. I agree Ozzy should stay off all soapboxes regardless of his bully wife. Thumbs up, Oscar. Oh, there's your heart. 1683 Clifton here again. Deep hug guy. Ask him about gardening. Then every time you show up, you can go on a tangent about your horticulture and not the hug thing. Yeah, okay, now I get the references to the hugs are all coming back to me. Yeah, I haven't seen him since over there at the 7-Eleven, so he hasn't been at me for a big hug, but man, he came in with just a $1 million smile. You could see all the teeth in there. And he was just like, my friend, you come. And I was just like, oh, I can't deny the man, but I would want to. There you go. There's your heart. Guffus. I want a compilation of all the Jive Talkin intros. Extremely funny. You're getting a dang heart and a thumb for that. Blake Johnson coming in there. Love the Blackie impression, bro. Thank you very much, Blake. You're one hell of a rocker. Let me tell you, perhaps we might be able to find a place for you and your band on the Wasp tour coming up. You can polish my codpiece with the saw blades. And then there's no name on this one. This is no name person. Chris Holmes is the real deal. Sucked that he got screwed by Lawless. That interview is awesome. Chris, to me, seems like a genuine person that people just continue to mess him over instead of doing the right. Greed is a bitch. Keep up the good work, Shane. Forward to 1 million subscribers, S. Well, S, you're getting a heart for that. And thank you very much. It's all of you guys, I'm telling you right now. All of you fine, fantastic freakoids. You guys are the ones that keep me inspired to keep going. Because you're all a bunch of great folks. Here's Whitebird coming in. The R&R documentary is great. Not sure if the EVH comment is accurate. What I took from the comment is RR, Randy Rhoads, was a Leslie West fan. He didn't like Black Sabbath, and Kevin DuBrow held him back, wanting the band to stick with the poppy glam style of the band. I don't think I would have listened to them back then. Take the hug, Shane. Not enough love in this hateful world. Who cares what people think? I mean, it's not so much about what people think. It's just like the unsettling. I mean, he came in. There was no, do you mind? Are you comfortable with giving hugs? Are you comfortable with me embracing you deeply and hardly? It was just, my friend, you come in. And then wham. Let's see. Now we got 2 from Mike Buchanan here because he was tardy in that last episode. Let's read this first one. Okay, I'm back for a short one. I went to see Poison with an old girlfriend back in high school, only because she wanted to go. I was very surprised at how good they were. That's it. Have a nice day. We got another one here. Look at it. Sorry to all my fans. I was down and out with the flu last week and have now just got back to full health. Well, that's good to know. Because you went missing in action, and the first thing I thought is, he's down with the flu. So it's an all jokes, no filler, Jive Talkin with Shane D comment. All right, so here we go. A lot of people tell me I've got an addiction to brake fluid. Truth is, I can't stop at it. I can stop at any time. Yeah. Okay. Geez. Here we go. This morning, I decided to use Red Bull instead of water to make my coffee. I was halfway to work when I realized I forgot my car. Amen to that. You drink some of them energy drinks? Man, you just go on for hours. People are like, go get him tested for crack cocaine. What does a robot do during a one-night stand? He nuts and bolts. Oh. My goodness. 2 nuns were sitting on a park bench when a naked man runs by. One of the nuns had a stroke, the other couldn't reach. Oh my God. People are shocked when they find out what a terrible electrician I am. Amen to that one. You ever gotten a zap before? I remember this little kid that I don't know why, but the family was a big family. They had like 5 or 6 brothers, and this one was just picked on. His name was Chris, and they would tell him to stick forks in the micro. I watched him stick a fork in the knife in the electrical socket, and he got a volt. He went, and I was like, my God, I'm not going to hang out with you guys. And I was just a kid at the time. We were still digging a slow hold of China out in the backyard. We're like, this will be great when this breaks through and we finally make it to the end of the world. You go inside and they're like, yeah, bend the tines on a fork and then say, stick it in there. And he did. What did the sign on the door of the brothel say? Beat it. We're closed. Yep. That's what you got to do. And finally, drum roll. Two windmills are standing in a field when one asks, "What's your favorite type of music?" The other says, "I'm a big metal fan." Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That is it, my good friends, for this episode of Jive Talkin'. I love you so damn much, and I wish you all the best out there. I'm going to try and get this working here. We're going to go with the flow. Nope, we don't want that. Oh, no, we want it. There we go. There we go. I see you, you see me, but we're driving along, baby. That ain't enough, oh girl. You got to know, but not of love. When you're ready tonight, you can escape my eyes. Jive Talkin' is watching you. You see your every move. Jive Talk is watching you. You're driving a high, watching you jive.